Yeah. They usually need him at the end of the game.
When you're down 20, it doesn't matter much with like 3 minutes to go in the game. There's not a 20-point play, man.
That's a fair point. Okay. Just 10 in the second half for Dame. And here he is, now tied up at a game apiece.
That's coming from Jason Quick with The Athletic.
Dame, what changes when Aaron Gordon is defending you?
Just a bigger defender. Taller guy, more athletic. That's it, just a bigger body. But, I'm used to that. Usually, throughout the regular season, whoever their defensive wing or taller wing is, that's who guards me. Just like the Phoenix game, Mikal Bridges guarded me. Golden State, Kelly Oubre guards me. I always, went up against a bigger wing. That was an adjustment that they went to in the second half. But I just think they gave me more attention, more so than it was just one guy. I'm never going against one guy.
What do you think you guys should do to kind of counter that if they go back to Gordon guarding you?
I expect it, to continue, but I think just moving around more off the ball, getting to some more off ball sets. Usually bigger guys, they can use their length and athleticism on the ball, but when you start to move around on flares and pin downs and things like that, you can typically get a little bit of space.
Aaron Fentress, or
since game one, you guys expected them to come out aggressive, expected them to come at you guys. Why do you think you guys weren't able to answer their aggressiveness?
I just think, we just weren't sharp enough. It's the playoffs. Every game is going to be different, and I said it after the first game. It's going to be much harder to win a second game, to start a playoff series. And, they were going to adjust. They were going to come out and play with more energy, be more physical, and, just try to bring a little bit more fight to us. And, it was as expected. But I think our turnovers, we had 6 turnovers in the first game, and tonight I think we had 6 turnovers in the first half of the first quarter or the first 8 minutes of the first quarter. So I think that showed that, they had more of a presence and more of an effect on our offense. And they just brought energy to the game with that, with the physicality and the deflections and things like that, which once again was expected. Obviously we didn't, allow that to happen on purpose, but that's what happens. Teams go down, and that this team, they're well coached. Mike Malone is a tough coach. He's not going to back down. He's going to get in their ass and challenge them, and they're going to respond. They were down 3-1, I think, twice last year and responded each time. So we know that they're going to adjust and they're going to come out and try to bring it to us. And tonight we just didn't play well enough to overcome that.
Boy, James, NBC Sports.
James, speaking of that, what's it like in a quarter like the second quarter where you go on that incredible run and you're knocking down shots from everywhere, yet you guys are not getting any stops, and yet in the quarter they outscore you guys in the quarter, and it just, as well as you were on offense, it didn't seem like that should have happened in that quarter.
Yeah, it was I had a great run, but like you said, they outscored us that quarter. We didn't get stops, and I think it's just a perfect example of, you can fill it up, but when you trade baskets with a good team like them, especially on the road with their backs against the wall, you're probably not going to win that. So even though we, had to go in offensively, we didn't get enough stops, so they were scoring the ball too, and then, we closed in. We cut it to 4, 61-65, and they end the half on an 8-0 run, and we coming out in the third quarter down 12. That's tough when you just fought yourself back into the game, and now you got to come out and battle back again. So, I thought we competed, we played hard, we just didn't play well enough for long enough periods of time. Each time we got back into it, we weren't defending and sharp enough on that end of the floor, so they kept pulling away, and we just kept digging the hole on the defensive end, and that's the way the game went. So, like I said, every game is different in the playoff series. This game was different than the first, and you can bet that the next game is going to be different than this one.
George Stoya, Denver Gazette.
Yeah, hey Damian. You guys talked a lot about on Saturday limiting Jokic from getting others involved. How do you feel like you guys defended him tonight, and how much did it hurt Nurk getting in some foul trouble?
Well, with a great player like him, you just got to slow him down. You know, he's going to find a way to be effective. I think he had, 40 points or 38 points. He's going to be effective. And I think we're not trying to let him score. We're just trying to make him work to score. And we know that they're at their best when the ball is just hopping around. And I thought, they had other guys making plays as well. All the guys that compliment him, they made plays. And that, that hurt us. We allowed them to, swing. They couldn't, just making plays. When the ball is moving around, that's much better for them. And it wasn't Jokic dominating, passing the ball, but, other guys were. And we can't allow that. So we got to be better. And obviously when Nurk is in foul trouble and not on the floor and not, able to do what he does best for our team, that's going to hurt our team.
Real quick, CJ McCollum is about to be available in the locker room Zoom, so he's going to be starting there in about a minute. Next question is coming from Sean Eichen, Bleacher.
Dame, you obviously were very vocal, a month or so ago about really wanting fans back in the arena. What kind of effect do you think it's going to have on Thursday with the increased capacity that they announced? And as you guys get deeper into the playoffs, how much do you have an effect do you think home court advantage is going to be with different teams in different cities having different capacities?
I mean, well, hopefully we get to the point where we can have at least what Denver has, or I watched the Knicks game yesterday and I was like, that looks like a 2017 game or a game from last season before the pandemic hit. Hopefully we can get up there. Hopefully we can get most of our fans in the building and not be cut short. I know that we wanted to lower the teams at the bottom getting the least amount of fans, and we kind of behind on doing that. So hopefully by the time Game 3 comes, that number can be a little bit higher because we got the best fans in the league, and when our fans are in the building and that building is noisy and our fans into it, we got one of the hardest buildings to win in, and it's the playoffs, so we're gonna need that. I would love to see our building have the same amount of fans that a lot of these other teams we watching have, because you can tell that they're feeding off of it, and with us having the best fans, of course, it'll be to our advantage.
Last question is coming from AJ McCord.
Dame, you mentioned the Nuggets experience in the bubble last year and how they came back from the 2 series, but you guys have a lot of veteran leadership on this team too. What is the message to bounce back from this one in a 7-game series and remember that after a loss like tonight?
Well, like you said, we experienced. We've been up, we've been down, we played well, we played bad. We've done it all in the playoffs, and we got a lot of guys with that type of experience. So never too high and never too low. After the first game, we was like, good win. We did our job. We got one on the road. Let's get greedy and come get another one. We know it's gonna be tough, but we want to get this second one. And we came up short, but that the playoff series is one game at a time, and it's gonna change each game. And we got the first one, they got the second one. And, we just got to make our adjustments. We got to improve and see what hurt us tonight and be ready to get a game at home in Game 3, and also understand that just because we're going home don't mean we're going to win the game. We got to go out there and tighten up, and we got to go earn another one. So as long as our mind is right and we understand that, which we do, we got a lot of guys that, are experienced, like we just said. We just got to handle business, and get ready for Game 3.
Thanks, Dame.
Damian Lillard there after